Questions for Matt?
It looked like you got a little more relaxed. I mean, not only you, but the entire team. As you know, as we went to the second quarter and you got that touchdown. Just talk about how the vibe changed and you guys started looking more confident and scoring with ease.
Yeah, you know, one of our goals was to start fast, and we weren't able to, you know, do that. But like the rest of our games, you know, we've been able to find a rhythm either in the second quarter or definitely the second half. You know, later in the season we're going to have to start fast, but it's nice to finally get into a rhythm, and then from that point out we don't really ever fall off, and we carry it out through the rest of the game, and we were able to do that today.
Talk about that first score, the 51-yard pass play. It was one of the things. Well, pass hasn't worked, run hasn't worked. Let's try it all and see what happens.
Yeah, it was a design play for Chris. They covered him. They double covered him, and the line gave me great protection, so I was able to scan the rest of the field and just saw Ronnie out there as a check down, and you know, I only threw the ball to him. He made the rest of the defense miss, and you know, I'm happy because it counts as a touchdown pass. So.
Was there something, Matt, that was different about that drive? Something you saw different? Something you did differently in that drive?
I think we were able to establish the run a little bit. You know, our offense really gets going when, you know, Trav and those guys, Andre, and you know, the whole offensive line really gets going. And you know, we were in a position on the field where we like to, you know, take a shot, and you know, the shot wasn't open, but the line stuck with it, and you know, just, you know, that's a big play for us. And we always talk about big plays. Ronnie caught the ball maybe a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, but you know, he was able to make a couple guys miss, and you know, he was, you know, obviously fast enough to get to the end zone. So.
Yeah, would you talk a little bit about the dimension of speed?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's you know, he's got his own packages, you know, his own speed that we love to utilize. Whether it's on the perimeter, you know, today we tried to get him a screen. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But you know, we like to get him the ball in space because, you know, like you saw today, he can make people miss. When he gets in the open field, you know, he can, you know, turn on his speed and outrun people. He almost outran the defense at the end of the game today. So you know, yeah, he's a great tool for us, and we love to use it.
Your 3 touchdown passes were maybe 3 pretty unlikely suspects, because Ronnie hadn't had one, Tyler's second one in his career, and then he just talked a little bit about spreading the ball around him too.
Well, actually, all 3 of those guys deserve a lot of credit because none of them are the one in their position. You know, Alex Bear's ahead of Tyler Beck, Herbs is ahead of Ronnie and Heath. So, you know, those guys deserve a lot of credit just for staying in the game mentally, and you know, sticking with the game plan that we put in through practice, because when they were inserted in the game, they knew exactly what to do. And Beck ran a good route on his touchdown. He really sold the post and was able to get open. Like I said, Ronnie was able to make a few guys miss on his, and then you know, Heath was, you know, he was wide open, so you know, he just ran a good route. But earlier in that drive, Heath, you know, caught a pass too, so you know, he deserves a lot of credit because, you know, he really stayed into the game, and when we threw him in there, we didn't really, you know, miss a beat.
I'm sure you're getting tired of me asking this question, but here I am. How would you assess how you played in this game?
It was average, I'd probably say. I didn't start off so hot, but you know, like we said before, you know, we haven't started hot in probably since the Kent game. But you know, throughout the game, myself and the entire offense gets, you know, a little more in rhythm, a little bit calmer, and you know, I was able to hit some easy passes, some short passes, and then we started taking some shots down the field. We started calling some play actions. So, you know, I didn't start off so hot, but you know, throughout the game, I started to get a little more comfortable and a little bit more in rhythm with the game. And you know, I finished out strong, but I would have liked to start a little better.
The numbers are not going to be the numbers you've had in your big games. I mean, how much do you use those numbers to assess how you play?
numbers only tell so much of the story, I think. I don't know what my yards were for, but, I threw for 3 touchdown passes, and we were able to execute in the red zone. And that's the way I look at it was, I think we were perfect in the red zone today.
Yeah, 4-4.
Yeah, 4-4 in the red zone. So, that's the way I look at it. Beck's touchdown and Heath's touchdown both came in the red zone. So, the fact that we were able to punch it in and get touchdowns, that's what really matters.
Well, you talked a little bit about the offensive game plan, and especially it looked like another slow start. I mean, was there something that opened up for you guys in that second quarter when you got it rolling?
Well, we don't plan for slow starts, it may seem like that. We just prepare for like a lot of fronts, because like Rylan mentioned previously, they had 2 weeks and they played numerous fronts. So this whole week we're just preparing for different fronts. I would say that towards the middle of the game, we start coming off the ball a little more, start being physical, and that changed the way a little bit. In the beginning, we were just unsure what we was doing, and I don't know, it's just been a habit for us to come out slow, and we've been told to come out faster because it can catch up to us later in these night games or so like that. So I wouldn't say we're trying to start slow, but we just sometimes feel our way and then we can start quick.
Was there something in particular you guys saw that allowed you to get it rolling, or
No, not that I know of. I
just did better?
Yeah, just basically did better. Just execute better. It's nothing that they did that we didn't see in practice or something like that, but I just feel like we just executed better. Communication got a little better. Besides that, we just played. We just played good ball, and we came out, started scoring in the second half, things like that.
There wasn't any fact that they hadn't won a game, that didn't affect you guys at all? I mean, or if it did you as a captain squash that talk right away?
Yeah, coach squashed it the first day.
Good.
He introduced us, and second off, that we knew that their goal was still ahead of them, because they were 0-0 in the MAC, so if they ran the table, they could be playing for the MAC championship. So we knew that every game is a ring game. If we lose, that's a chance we don't get to play in Detroit. So every game is a ring game. We come out with that focus. We prepare for that focus.
Well, you talked a little bit about the running of Travis Green. We haven't talked to you or much of the offensive lineman about what he's doing out there. In your view,
I told Trav on the side, I'm like, if you were faster, you would score a lot more. Trav, he makes so many people miss. I promise you, I've never seen that many people miss so bad in my life. I did play with somebody who did that named Shaq Washington. But Trav, when he gets the ball in his hand, we know we trust him. He doesn't fumble. He runs low behind his pads, and he just makes great plays. He makes great cuts. And we love having our running back like that. And he always gives us a thanks afterwards, which we really respect that from him. Because we know he's going to do the things he needs to do, and we're just happy that he acknowledges that he needs us as well.
Can you talk about the toughness Travis has with being so small? It seems like he's not only making people miss, but also breaking tackles.
Yeah, he runs hard, surprisingly. He does run hard. Trav, I don't know, he's not scared of anybody, not scared of anything. He's been like that since I met him when he came in a couple years ago. So he just took it from receiver to running back. Now he get the chance to show everything he got in running back. And we're just glad to have him.
It was a day today that some different people may have caught touchdown passes. How excited are you for guys like Pete Jackson, Tyler Beck, who you came in with, but you see them score and run?
Well, he came in with me too, and it's good. It's good to see him score because he's been through a lot of injuries. One minute he was about to start, like I think last year, then he came out with a knee injury, and then this past year he's still getting healthy again. So he came in when Burbs went down, which we needed. He stepped up. Tyler Beck finally didn't even tackle on the one, which is good because I think every year he's going to tackle at least 2 times on the 1 yard line. So that's good for him. I made fun of him. He says it's his second touchdown, but I don't think it's the second one. Okay. Who else? Ronnie's just fast, man. Ronnie's good kid. He came here with respect for everybody. He just came here and worked, and I appreciate that. Coach made an emphasis on making short plays, like short drives. Because we've been known for doing these long 10-play, 11-play drives. Like we need some explosive plays, and then that one play where he cut back for like 50 yards, and I was glad because I was tired anyway. So, Ronnie's just a good player, and we're glad to have him too.
Are you good?
Interception accounted.
All right. All right, questions for Rylan.
Walk us through that big play.
Honestly, it was just I don't want to say a routine play. It was actually a great call going into our down at the goal line area. And it was just a great executed play by the whole defense, really. Jerry was actually guarding pretty good, and I just seen the opportunity to go up and make the play, and sadly I came down. But you know, they really been harping on us about creating turnovers, and it really bothered the whole secondary, the whole defense, but you know, mainly the secondary. So I mean, it just feels really good to come away with the first one.
A couple plays before that, you had gotten a pick that got,
Right.
not you specifically, but the defense had gotten one. Was there any carryover, hangover?
Next play. Let's go right to the next play. I mean, I'm sure Paul Saint actually came up to me afterwards and said, "You're welcome," and how I owe him. But I mean, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, we'd have liked to have it earlier, but we got it, so kept it moving.
Go ahead, Jack.
I was just going to say, in recent games, the defense has been counted on to hold you guys in while the offense starts going. How do you guys like that challenge, and do you think you've responded to that?
I mean, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say that we like it, but I wouldn't say we hate it. I mean, we just do what we have to do. Our game plan every week is to come out with a 0 on the board for the other team. So, I mean, the offense does what they do. We'll always have their back, and there's been games where they had us. So, I mean, you do what your coach do and execute to your best abilities.
Does it hurt at all seeing that it didn't end up as a 0 on the board?
Definitely. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. We'll come back, watch film, go with the corrections that we need to. But I mean, it always hurts. I mean, you work hard, and something like that happen at the end of the game. I mean, but it happens. So.
And we talked a little bit, you mentioned that the coaches have been kind of harping for turnovers and interceptions. I mean, was that a weight on you guys?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was a weight. It was just something that was always there. We've been in position to create turnovers before and just haven't come down with the ball, or just situations where we could have made the play and the play wasn't made. But like I said, I'm just happy we're able to say that we have one. But this isn't any by any way, shape, or form to say that we're satisfied. I mean, we for sure want more interceptions, more turnovers, whether that's interceptions or forced fumbles or whatever it is.
Brian, after you brought down an interception, can you just tell me what's your first thought coming down with that ball? Does it go straight to the end zone?
I know I'm going to get it back for this one because I pride myself on my return skills. But I mean, honestly, I was just in the air. I was thinking, do not drop this ball on the way down. And I seen Cameron Truss actually on the block for me, and something told me to cut it back, but I went with the safe route and just kept going the way my momentum was driving me. And it is what it is. I mean, I would like to score, but it is what it is.
You know, Coach actually said that you pride yourself on your return skills.
I do. I really do. I really do.
Well, you talked a little bit about the defensive game plan in general for UMass. I mean, Coach mentioned it was kind of more of a bend but don't break, make them basically grind it out against you.
Right. Well, they've had about 2 weeks to prepare for it. So coming in, we weren't exactly sure exactly what we were going to get, but we knew it was going to be something good with all that time they have in their hands to come up with a scheme to stop us, or from allowing us to stop them. So, I mean, just going off of what he said, I mean, we just wanted to make sure we didn't have any explosive plays, any balls over our heads, and wanted to create turnovers. And we always want to be disciplined in our assignments. So I think that's something that really helped us out.
Good.